Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode number 10, Meditation and Mediation, which is very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And we start out with Kelli talking to her daughters in the kitchen. And she's talking about the townhouse that she lives in now, how it's not big enough for all the personalities.
Well, she's got 4 daughters, right?
Yes, and that is a lot of estrogen in one house, right?
And the age difference between them. Like
Yes.
Chloe's, what, 16, 17?
17.
Yeah. And then Chance is like 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then the twins are, younger. The age difference, it's like it's not even like ages where they could share a room other than the twins.
Right.
I mean, if they have to, they have to, but.
Right. No, it's a lot. And she said that the judge has I guess she was awarded the home, and the judge said that she needs to sell it because they came from a 7,000 square foot house. That's a huge house.
That's a really big house.
And Chloe is talking about how she just wants to be a teenager and she wants to not have to work for the summer. I like that her mother is telling her that she needs to work for the summer.
Yeah, and listen, that's the most fun time to work. I mean, I worked on the boardwalk at 14 years old. It's the best job in the world. It's the most fun time to work. You have no cares. You're making money and you have nothing to pay for except shit for yourself.
Exactly.
I mean,
100%.
she should be saving for a car, but,
I'm sure her mom's going to buy her one.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like you said, it is like you get to make all this money and it's all for you.
Yeah, you get to hang out with your friends. I mean, come on, what kind of job are you going to go get a job at your favorite store, then you get a discount.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you get to hang out there all day.
Exactly.
It was nice when they were talking about Chloe's dad and Kelli said that they're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I was glad to hear that. Yeah, since she has such a bad relationship with the other children's father. And,
Right.
I'm glad she has a strong male figure in her life.
Yeah, for sure.
The next scene where Shemeah meets up with Ralph, this was a shock to me. I did not see this coming.
I did not see this coming.
I mean,
at all.
We find out that they used to do a podcast together. I had no idea.
I mean, did they do a podcast together or were they on a podcast together one time?
No, I think they did one together.
Okay.
I think it was a couple people. I don't think it was a one-time thing. No, I think that they did a podcast together. And then to see Portia roll up on top of it, like, what?
Yeah, and I'm calling bullshit that Portia she's like, I didn't know Ralph was going to be here. Okay, stop.
Well, Shemeah does co-sign that on Watch What Happens Live that she didn't tell Portia. I don't know either, but I will also say that on Watch What Happens Live, she said what we see of her and Portia is what there is. They are not close like they used to be. They are not close.
Really?
Yeah. So she would not be lying. She feels like she said, like Portia hasn't had her back. She's been riding hard for Portia and she's not finding it reciprocated.
What do you think about what they said about Portia not wanting her on the show or only wanting her to keep a friend status?
I mean, I think that that's very possible. I also think it's very sad if that's the case. Shemeah did say, though, she had no idea that the reason Portia didn't go to her wedding in Atlanta, she didn't know that she was mad at her. She didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, she says that in the scene tonight where she's like, that's not what you told me. And
Right.
I remember hearing that, like, she wasn't going because she was pregnant, right? She couldn't sit on the plane that long. Is that what it was? I thought it was something about her not being able to be on a plane that long. I thought maybe she was pregnant with Pylor.
No, she definitely wasn't pregnant. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I remembered hearing that. I don't remember hearing that it was because there was any kind of beef. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that you can tell. Did you see Watch What Happens Live at all or no?
No. I
You can
just
tell.
watched Atlanta before I cooked dinner before we came on,
Okay, you can
so I didn't
see
have time
by.
to watch it. She's on with Ariana though, isn't she?
Yes, she is. I didn't finish watching it. I only saw like a little bit of it,
Did you
but
hear that Ariana announced that she was pregnant? Is that
she
real?
did not. No,
Okay.
I mean they said they
So
did
much
that
fake
rumor.
shit going on.
That rumor was out there, and I was like, shit, I didn't finish watching it. And then I started reading more about it. Like, no, she didn't do that. Like, it's just people
Okay.
making up shit.
I know, it's so annoying.
It really is annoying. It is. So anyway, Shemeah meets up with Ralph, and he's talking to her about doing a podcast.
Kings and
And
queens.
yes, and she says to him, like, listen, she met him through Drew. Like, that's how they met to begin with. And she wants to know, like, what is going on with Drew and Dennis? And then all of a sudden, Portia rolls up, and in in the confessional, they say that Ralph says it, and like Portia says it. They didn't know that the other one was going to be there. They really didn't. I mean,
Let
not
me
that I
ask you
believe
something. Did
Ralph.
you hear Ralph say that Dennis called him and asked for his blessing? Or did
I
I
did.
mishear that?
No, he did say that. And I
He
was
said
like,
that, right?
he did say that.
See, this leads me to think that Ralph's a little bit of a liar.
Ralph is definitely a liar. I mean, we
Yeah.
know Ralph's a liar.
Because Dennis, there's no way that happened.
No. Because then he goes on to say that like he doesn't know what's true, you know? So Portia
Right.
says that Dennis sent me a text. It said, I told Drew I wouldn't F her and run I wouldn't F her and you run me my money. And I was like, first I didn't really know what that meant.
Well, I feel like Portia had to break it down for us a little bit.
Okay, it wasn't just me?
No, it
Okay.
wasn't just you. I didn't
I
know what
was
the fuck
like,
that
I
meant
was like,
either. I knew what the
wait.
first part meant.
No, I knew what the first part meant too.
That was pretty clear. But the second part, I'm like, I just kept thinking of Rihanna, bitch better get my money. Which I guess it kind of does mean the same thing.
Right. So I guess when she breaks it down, it's that Drew is saying, I'll just sleep with you and I'm not going to give you a piece of what you're producing. You know, you're producing things. And he's like, no, that's not happening. I honestly cannot see Drew doing that. I can't see her doing that.
Me
I'm sorry.
neither. Me
I can't,
neither.
I can't see that happening. I can see Dennis lying about that,
For sure.
but I
And
cannot.
honestly, even if Drew did put that out there, would she put it in writing in a text? There's
No.
no way. Knowing that you're filming a TV show with his ex,
Right.
who doesn't
No.
want you filming with him anyway,
Right.
she's not that dumb.
Right. So Shemeah admits the reason she brought Portia there is that she wanted a witness because she didn't want it to, the rumors to go around, like the rumors that are going around between Drew and Dennis.
Right.
And that she also announces that Ralph is paying for the dinners.
God, that was so funny.
That was so funny.
Portia's like, oh, I didn't know we were having appetizers.
Yeah. And then it was dessert time too. And then Portia says the rumors on the street are running, but that does not mean they're true.
Mm-hmm.
She said to Ralph, what about the rumors about you? Are they true? And Ralph said, no, they're not. So if the rumors about you aren't true, then what makes you think the rumors about your wife are true?
Yeah, see, first of all, I feel like we got hit with a lot in the first 10 minutes of this episode.
We certainly did.
Now, again, I took a little bit of a break from Atlanta. So when they flash back to Drew saying, I mean, I don't know if she said she had an affair, but she said, yes, there is someone in my life and she makes me happy and she makes me laugh. And was her name Ty?
So her name was Ty. And that was, I want to say, was it last season or the season before? Was she in that movie with her? I think I think she met her in that movie. I think they were in that movie together.
TLC movie?
The movie that she did with
Got it. Candy.
The movie that she did with Candy. I think Ty was in that movie with her, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So did they have some kind of relationship?
It was rumored, but I mean, it wasn't as rumored as Kyle and Morgan, let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, it was rumored like that, but it wasn't to the extent.
Right.
It wasn't to that extent. And maybe it was last season and then it went off the air because then, we didn't see it for a couple of years. And at the end of that reunion, Drew sang that song to Ralph, which you didn't see. Did you see that?
I don't think anybody didn't see that because it was everywhere and it was cringy AF.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like she admitted it. She just said that, she makes me feel, you know,
Happy.
happy, right? So
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know for sure. We don't know
Okay.
for sure. And like Ralph said when he came up that Dennis texted him. There's no way Dennis texted him. And then you're saying you don't know about the rumors on the street. Well, what about what Dennis texted you? Why didn't you show those receipts if those receipts are out there?
Exactly.
Why didn't we see those?
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
no, I'm not buying any of it. I still
Then
don't know if I'm buying the whole Drew Ralph separation thing, quite honestly. I feel like they could still be doing this for a storyline.
I
The
mean,
jury's still out on this one.
I don't think that they are. I don't think that Drew would do that. I certainly would not put it past Ralph.
She's an actress,
I know, but they're her kids.
but they don't know anything yet.
I mean, they don't know anything because the judge has ordered that they can't tell them, which I find that very strange.
Very odd. Why
I
is
mean,
the judge telling you what you can or cannot do with your kids? The
how to
judge might
parent.
order therapy,
Right. How
but
is a
they're not
judge
gonna tell you what you can and can't say to your kid.
how's a judge order you how to parent your children when the judge orders him to live in the basement?
Right.
What? I mean, seriously.
I
Am I
know,
missing
I
something?
know. No,
Okay.
no.
Like, this is
You
not
just
making
laid it
sense.
out, and
It's
the math's not mathing.
It is not mathing. It's not mathing. And Portia says, don't use my divorce and say we're going through the same thing, meaning her and Drew. And then she says to Ralph, that girl's talking about my child. She said, make enough money and I could send Pilar to college. But that's not what she said. But that's how it was relayed to Portia from Shemeah. But that is not what was said because Angela was there when it was
Right,
said.
right.
So I don't know what's going on here, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't, I think it's a bit of a telephone game. I think that's how Shemeah heard it, right?
She did say something about putting PJ through college, and Shamia said PJ's college was already paid for, and she said, "Well, then maybe I could pay for some snacks,"
From
which
snacks.
is snide.
Right.
That's
No,
snide.
that is exactly what she said.
Yeah.
But she didn't say, I'm going to. And that's what Portia thinks she said. And that is
Right,
not what she said.
right, right.
And again, if she's saying that, then she's not going to be offering to F him in lieu of payment,
No,
right? She's not going to do that. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't
right.
make sense.
Dennis is thirsty.
Yeah. So
Dennis wants on this show.
Dennis and Ralph need to go get their own damn show. Can we get a show with just
Exactly.
Dennis and Ralph, the hot dog man and the liar? Like, let's put that someplace. I mean, not that I'm going to watch it, but somebody might, right?
Yes, yes. And who was Cynthia's ex? Who was that?
Mike or
The other one. Oh,
Peter,
Peter.
Peter
Yeah, put
Thomas.
him Peter on there. He was pretty thirsty too. He tried to
Definitely.
get on the show with somebody, didn't he? He tried to
Listen,
get back in there.
you can put Peter, Paulo, Dennis, Ralph, put those four together and let them go on an island or something.
Yep.
Let them go do, Survivor
Go
on
film
an
each other.
island.
Yep.
I don't know.
They're horrible.
You guys can go measure your dicks.
Exactly. That's all it is. Exactly. Good luck to you.
Yeah, there you go. Portia says to Ralph, you never cheated your entire marriage? And he said, no. Come on.
Bullshit.
We all know that's not true. We know that's not true.
Yeah. We're going bullshit, Ralph.
Okay.
We're going bullshit.
So that kind of ends with the dessert and,
That
whatever.
was a lot for the first 10 minutes, though.
It was a lot.
There was like smoke coming off my pen. I was like, woo.
It was a lot. Then we see Angela. I didn't realize she has 5 investment properties.
She needs to sell a house.
And she's $2 million in debt. And I don't know how it's only $2 million when that one property is $3 million. And
Right.
she owns 5.
Right.
I mean, that math is not mathing either, but.
Nope.
So Kelli goes over to one of her houses because I guess now she's going to be looking for a house and she has to sell the other house and get out of the condo or the townhouse or whatever it is. And that house is not ready to be sold. It is not finished.
No, and I liked it. Like, I love a big laid out ranch. I love it. But no. I mean, the pool was green. I mean, I understand if it's not like ready, like everything's not landscaped and everything, but I mean, get some chlorine in there. Do something.
Yeah, it wasn't filled. What was in there was green. Like
Right.
Kelly's saying the ceilings are not very high.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
she's like 4'2".
I know, that's so funny. It is funny. But listen, I think when you're used to these high ceilings, like, that
Yeah.
really hits you because when I was down visiting my mom in Florida, my gosh, the ceilings in her it's a ranch, right? But the ceilings have gotta be, like, 10 or 11 feet high, so that means the doors for the closets, the doors for the bedrooms are 8 feet high. I'm not used to these huge doors. It's
Right.
so weird, like, it looks like it's so much bigger than it is
Yeah.
just because the ceilings are high.
Yeah.
Angela says that, you know, it came across that she knew something at the event about Charles to Kelly, and she tells us the story. She breaks it down for us that she was Charles and Wendy Williams were doing an event together. And that's at the time when Wendy Williams' husband, Kevin, was, you know, in the public having a baby with somebody else. And she was
Mhm.
going through a hard time. And Angela did say to her, you know what? It's just a baby. And Wendy said, well, do you know about this? And she said, yeah, I've experienced this. So Wendy just ran with it thinking it was Charles,
Mhm.
but it was not Charles. It was not Charles.
I'm so glad she cleared that up because I really like Angela.
Yeah.
And I feel like listen, he's fucking Charles Oakley. If this happened, I think we would know about it by now. If we didn't know about it prior to them being on the show, it certainly would have come out. I
Right.
mean, because you hope to God that if that did happen, he's doing the right thing and, in this child's life. I just, I'm just glad she cleared it up. It's a totally legit explanation.
Yes. And she says it was her daughter's father.
Right.
And Charles knows about these rumors. He doesn't care. He doesn't care,
And why would he? He's
Right.
Charles Oakley.
Right. But she also admits, and she did say this to us, and we found this out in the very beginning that, her and Charles did have some problems at one point,
Yeah.
and they took a break.
And I love her honesty about him stepping out.
Yeah. So she's saying, listen, I know who he is.
Mhm.
We had our problems. We took a break. We worked through it. We're back together. You know, mind your own damn business.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. But she talked about it and that was important. I don't love what happens next.
No, I don't like that she inserted herself in the whole Shemeah Portia thing.
Agreed.
Like that,
Agreed.
yeah, that did not need to happen.
However, she is earning her peach by doing it.
But did she need it? I mean,
No, but I mean, she's pushing that story along because clearly I don't know it wouldn't have come out.
no, we wouldn't have known. How would we have known? I mean,
We
Shemeah didn't
wouldn't.
even know.
Exactly.
But why is Portia confiding in Angela if she's not even close with her?
Well, first Shemeah did. First Shemeah confided in her and told her things that she felt, a certain
Right,
way about Portia.
right.
I
Yeah, I know. The whole thing is weird, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I'm glad we went 24 minutes into the episode before we saw Brett, and I
Yeah.
didn't mind it at all.
You timed it? That's so funny.
When she came on the screen, I was like, "Pause, let's see when she enters."
Yeah, so we see her and she's talking to Mike about she's excited about her mom's coming, and he lets her know that he reached out to her sister Cher. I
That
thought
was
that was I thought that was pretty big of him. Then we see Angela's at another investment property and she's playing tennis with her daughter, and she invites Portia over because she's not going to invite Portia to her real house because she says she would F her husband. So she's going to invite her over to the investment house and play tennis.
Yeah, that's so
Listen.
good.
Yeah. Portia, when she's there, she talks a little bit about her Pampered by Portia event. I still really don't understand this event. I'll be quite honest with you. I had no idea she had a sheet line. I still don't understand it. I really don't. I
I don't
don't.
either, but one, I loved the setup of that. Like all the different rooms.
Yeah.
I
And
loved that.
yeah.
And I loved when Drew was like, "Are we taking a picture for her line?" Like all
Right.
of a sudden they're all in a picture and Portia's like, "Can you hand me those sheets?"
Right. Right.
They were clearly doing an advertisement for her line.
Right. And Drew's like, I didn't get a
So good.
contract because I know I'm not working for Bare Naked. Like, is this for my Instagram or is this for Portia Pampered by Portia's Instagram? I love Drew. I really
That
do.
was great. That
It
was great.
was good.
Yeah. She tells Angela about her dinner with Ralph.
Yes. And Angela tells Portia that Drew didn't say she could pay for Pilar's college. Angela also tells her that Shemeah said not wanting to be her lapdog. And Portia starts crying. You could tell she is upset.
Yeah.
And this
she
is
said
what
that she thinks that she and Portia have a lopsided friendship.
right. This is what listen, I do like Portia. I don't like the way she came in this season. I don't like how she thinks that she's top dog. I don't like that. I would like someone to dethrone her, but not at the expense of Shemeah and her friendship. That's kind of how I feel about this whole thing.
Totally agree. Yeah. But
right?
Bravo has a real nice way of making these women think they're top dog. And then when they get too big for their britches, then Bravo gets rid of them. Look at Nene.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with Angela taking down Portia, but don't do it with Shemeah. Like, leave Shemeah out of it. Let them have their friendship that they've had since they were kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't
honestly, like. I really do think Angela's doing this to, make a mark and push the story along. And I do think she's doing it in an eloquently way.
She definitely is.
But I also don't think she's trying to hurt Shemeah in the meantime. Like, obviously, she knows this is going to be good for the show. But, these are things that Shemeah probably needed to say to Portia because they have been friends since middle school or high school. And it's probably always been this way. I mean, Portia has a presence and she, probably always strived to be famous or in the public eye in some way. And her mother and her sister have always been nothing but supportive and hang in the background and let her do it. And I'm sure Shemeah was the same way. And now Shemeah's got a peach.
Yeah. I mean, I will even tell you when it was brought up on Watch What Happens Live, Shemeah was crying. She was crying on Watch What Happens Live. So it's real for her and it's raw. And I agree. I don't think Angela knew the depths of their friendship, and I don't think she knew what this would do to it. Right? Because I think this is unfortunate. That's all.
Listen, if I had my best friend came to my birthday party 3 hours late, and I'm filming getting a brand new car for my husband, and she rolls up and walks up and interrupts the whole thing, I'd be fucking pissed. And I'm not like that. Like, I don't want attention. I don't need attention. I don't crave attention. None of that. But I would still be pissed. Like, can I have a moment? My birthday party, I'm getting a present. You're 3 hours late.
Right.
Walk around. I mean, we said this when the episode aired. Walk around the back and make a discreet entrance, not like some big, like it's the Porsha show.
Right.
That alone would have pissed me off.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Then we see Drew.
Let me ask you something though. When Portia left crying, if you were Angela, what would you have done right then? When Portia left crying and she went in the house and she said she was really upset, what would you have done?
I probably would have called Shemeah. Yeah.
I would have gotten right on the phone with Shemeah and been like, listen, I'm just letting you know. I mean, the cameras were there. They could have filmed the whole thing too.
Yeah, I would have called Shemeah.
I said it. Didn't see that response coming, but this is how she responded, and this is where we're at. Whether she wanted to apologize or not, that's on her. But I would have
called her.
Let Shemeah know immediately that had gone down.
I would too. I would have called Shemeah. I would have. Yeah. Then we see Drew, and we find out that her and Ralph have not communicated since court. And we see her talking to Dr. Ken. He's now her life coach.
It's just a new way of saying therapist.
I think it is. I think it is because he used to be their counselor, their marriage counselor. And since that didn't work, now he's her life coach. And she met him in 2021. So, they have a little history, her and her life coach. Crazy, right?
Yes.
Angela told Drew about the text message that he sent to Portia about Drew that Dennis sent. When I say Dennis sent to Portia about wanting to sleep with him instead of paying him for her services. And naturally, she's hurt by it. So now Angela's bringing that information to somebody else too.
She's being a little bit of a bone collector, Angela.
She really is. Does she know?
Taking over Cherie's job.
Yeah. Yep. So the day of the event, before that, Portia and Britt is telling Kelly about Mike meeting with her sister Cher and how they're trying to work things out. And then all the ladies show up. Drew does show up.
Yeah.
Was she late this time? I don't think she was.
She was the last one. She was
the
filmed as
last.
being the last one walking in.
Yes, but yeah, she admits that they're going to try and coexist. I really didn't, I didn't know it was a lingerie party because I'm like, why are all these women dressed like this? And then they go inside and they all get these beautiful sheer feathered boa robes. I mean, they look beautiful. They all look beautiful.
They did look beautiful. I was just like, man, like if they knew they were going to have to change, would they have dressed that way? Like I loved all their outfits. I thought they all looked great. And then when they went in, they had to change into, again, like beautiful outfits.
Did they change or they just put the robe over the outfit they had on?
Maybe that's what they did.
I think they just put the robe over their outfits. And I thought it was interesting that their outfits matched the robes that were there waiting for them. So they must have been given a color.
That's true. They must have been assigned a color.
Right. Because they were all different colors and yeah. So they're getting the massages, which I thought was very nice. That's when Portia said she's got this really high-end photographer there and she's, concerned about the time and she wants to get these pictures so that the ladies have them for themselves or for their special boo.
Their boo thing.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no. Drew's like, nope, nuh-uh. Now I know why I was invited.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Kelly lets Shemeah know that Portia was in tears about her. And Shemeah said...
And that Angela repeated everything she said.
Right. And Shemeah said, about what? And Portia's sister is there leading them in meditation through this meditation and a sound bath.
Let me ask you something. Is there like a playbook for Bravo every year? How many sister circles are we going to have to see this year? Because it's all bullshit.
I know. I agree.
This is the third sister circle we're seeing.
Yeah, so we saw it in Beverly Hills.
We saw
it in OC. We've seen it in Salt Lake, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't think we've seen it in New York, though. We never saw it in New York, did we?
No.
They're not doing that bullshit.
We definitely didn't see it in Jersey.
No, there's no. I mean, we did a long time ago when Teresa first got out of jail. We did like the Namaste with Siggy.
Yes.
Remember that retreat?
Yes.
Right? When we know how well that went, right?
Exactly.
None of these go well.
Girls really seem to work out well for these ladies.
Yeah, they don't go well.
It's almost like a jinx.
Yeah, it is. So all the ladies are lying down and their eyes are closed and Shemeah's not. She's not laying down. And then Kelly gets up and goes over to her and Shemeah's like, well, why are you messing with your meditation? She's like, well, because you're not laying down. Yeah. She's like, well, you're not. She's like, well, she said if you feel comfortable to lay down. She's like, and I don't feel comfortable. And Portia hears them talking and she's just like, shh. And Lauren says, like, we are, open up our sister circle. And Angela says to Portia, she appreciates her apology. And hopes that they can move on.
Did she actually apologize to Angela, though? Did Portia actually apologize to Angela? When she said, I appreciate your apology, I was thinking, I don't ever remember, but I guess she must have.
She must have. At the Bailey Q. Remember at the Bailey Q?
Oh, yes, they went into a separate room. Yes. I'm thinking when they sat down for tennis.
No.
You're right.
At the Bailey Q.
Yep.
At the Bailey Q. So... Kelly says, I admire Shemeah and Portia and their friendship. I feel about, what did she say? I feel about each other. Everyone feels. What is that? What did I write? I don't even know what I mean by that. What happened there?
Who was it? Who said it?
Kelly says she admires Portia and Shemeah's friendship, which I remember that.
Right.
I don't know how it came. Then Shemeah says she doesn't feel like she can open up to Portia. And Portia said, I receive what you're saying, and I feel sad that she feels like that. And then Portia said, Angela said that you are the best friend and I'm the bad friend. And you can see Portia is upset.
But that's not
what she said.
What she said.
That is not what she said.
Like that's a
not
bad
not
twist
what she said.
on words there. Yeah.
Right. And Lauren said, well, how does hearing that make you feel? And Portia said, well, I feel like a piece of shit. And Shemeah said, well, I've never been the one to talk about my friends behind their back. Anything that was brought up to her has not been communicated to her.
And I believe that anything Shemeah, well, I guess not. I guess not. I was going to say if Shemeah said anything to somebody else, it's something she said to Portia's face, but it doesn't sound like it from what Angela's saying.
No, because then Angela said that she was upset that Portia didn't go to her wedding. And she also didn't know that Portia didn't go to her wedding because they weren't well, then Portia announces,
Yeah.
let me just make this clear. Like, we were not speaking a few months prior to it. And I didn't go to her wedding in Kenya, but I did go to her wedding here in the United States. But Shemeah didn't know that. Like, she didn't know that.
She thought it was something else. It was something about her not being able to be on a plane for too long or something. She couldn't sit that long.
I vaguely remember that. I don't remember what the exact reason was. And Angela said, well, I brought that up because I wanted to see, Shemeah to see how you feel, like, how do you feel like right now? And she said, well, I would never allow anyone to talk bad about my friendship. And apparently that's not reciprocated. And, that's where Shemeah is with this whole thing. Like, she feels like she's always had Portia's back and Portia has not had hers.
Right.
And then Cynthia jumps in and she said, I really hate when the circle breaks up friendships. And it always does. Portia and Shemeah's friendship goes deep, and it does. They've been friends since they were children. Lauren asked her how she feels, and she said it's a lot of hurt, and that's okay. I don't expect to have it resolved right now. And Shemeah says, well, I've always showed you grace. And Portia says, thank you for your grace. And Shemeah's like, well, that was sarcastic. And it was.
It was sarcastic, for sure.
No. And Portia said, no, I'm just a piece of shit. It's cool. And it's like, no, that's.
Yeah. Like relax.
And how long ago was this? Like 6-8 months ago? And they're still in that same place.
Yeah, that's tough.
I hope at the reunion that they can come together. I really do.
There's got to be more to it.
I agree.
There's got to be more to it, right?
I feel like there has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious thing is that Portia doesn't like that Shemeah has a peach. But I think that's too obvious. I really do.
I do too.
I think it's too obvious.
I do too.
But
if you were Shemeah and like maybe somebody came to her with receipts for that, and if you were Shemeah and you saw right there in black and white that
talking
Portia,
that way,
that would be so hurtful.
That would be hurtful. But the first thing I would do would be call her out on it.
Yeah. Yeah. What did Andy what was Andy saying to Shemeah?
Andy
about it?
He was saying that, he was trying to comfort her and say that, he thinks that they can work it out. But again, she was crying and she's even like, I keep crying. Like, I keep crying about this. And,
that's a long ass friendship, man. I mean, how old are they? In their 40s? Early 40s, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
That's a long friendship from high school.
No, middle school. I think it was middle school.
Yeah, middle school. So either way, it's over 20 years.
Yeah, it's a long friendship. Over what though? Like we don't
to
really
know each other before you were housewives, or before housewives was your
before
thing.
You were married, before you had kids, before
Yeah, like you were some awkward teenager when you met her.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I don't know. I hope that they can make up.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what also Andy asked her. Andy asked her, what her like how was it once Phaedra came on? And Shemeah admitted she was nervous because, well, if you think about it, the last time Phaedra was around Shemeah was when the whole Porsha thing went down, and
Candy and Todd.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that didn't go well.
And
right?
Shemeah is really close with Candy as well.
Yes.
So yeah, she's definitely going to feel a certain way about Phaedra.
Yeah. But she said it, it was fine. Like she was nervous about it, but it went well. But what I'm thinking is now I feel like, they are introducing her and Portia as frickin' frack, and
Phaedra.
Yeah. Like that's what that's like one of the scenes we see, like, oh, frickin' frack are back together. And I'm just like,
so this could have something to do with it too.
It could. And I hope that that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because then Shemeah did make some kind of, I thought it was kind of snide comment about Phaedra, because he said, like, what about her unmarried to Medicine? And Shemeah says, like, how many shows is she on? Like, what, are we going to find another show for Phaedra to be on?
That's interesting.
There's something going on there too.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but there's something going on there.
Huh.
Yeah. But I mean, What episode did I say we were on?
Yeah, 10. So how many are we getting?
Episode 10. I'm guessing maybe 15, 16?
What season is it?
16 and 16. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. It just takes me forever. Because I can't say I'm old, my eyes are bad. Oh, it only has 11 listed, but I guess, they
Yeah,
list them as they come out.
they don't give us too much in advance.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah, they
wish
only
they.
have 11 listed, damn it.
All right, so we'll guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yep. But we're at least halfway through because we're not getting 20 episodes out of these
No, we're certainly
out
not
of
getting.
these
No,
franchises anymore.
no, we're not. We're not.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I am liking this season.
I am too.
I am liking it. Sometimes
I am too.
it takes me a little while, and we started out with the Kenya bang, and then we're like, okay, and then we were like stuck on the Brit thing, but I feel like we're off Brit now, and
Yeah.
now we're on to Angela and Shemeah, and I think then once Phaedra comes in, it's going to be a whole other dynamic.
It's going to be like a different show. And it does feel like so long ago. Like that thing with Kenya happened so long ago. It's like a
Yeah.
totally different show now.
And I don't remember, I don't think Drew was on with Phaedra, was she?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
No.
either.
No.
I mean, they're all from Atlanta, though, so I'm sure they know each other.
I'm sure they have
Yeah.
rolled into each other. Yeah. You know what's funny? So when we recapped the Valley, I said, I don't know if this show's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Heather McDonald today. She's with Brandy and who's Julie. Brandy and Julie.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they together? Are they a couple?
I think
Or
so.
are they just very good friends?
I think they're a couple.
I can never tell.
I'm almost positive they're a couple.
Okay.
They used to do the People's Couch.
People's Couch,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Yes.
so did the one girl who wound up on Shaws of Sunset. She and her sister.
Which girl?
I'll look it up and I'll text it to you. But the one girl from Shaws of Sunset, she came later. She wasn't an original because she watched it on the People's Couch and talked about it. It's funny, like that was like what we're doing. They did what we're doing, but on a couch with a camera in front of them instead of it's so funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, Heather McDonald was saying how great the Valley is and what good reality TV it is. And I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off.
I think you are. I'll be honest with you. And
Yeah.
I think Heather's a little biased too because she lives there. She lives in the
So
Valley.
she's friends with
all of them.
Yeah.
Like she hangs like she's a
That's
little
true.
biased. She's a little biased.
I never thought of that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
she
I
hangs
don't
with
know.
she hangs with everybody, to be quite honest with you. I mean, she hangs.
I find any of them very interesting. Like I just don't like Jesse's a scumbag. Jax is a douchebag. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you on those two. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
But yeah, you're right. I forgot she does hang out. I mean, they were talking about going to Sheena's 40th birthday party that night.
Yeah.
And Brandy and Julie were going as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it used to be like a love fest when her and Jeff were friends because like Jeff hangs out with a lot of them too, and he's friends with a lot of them too.
I know. I wish that didn't happen between them.
I know. I know. I don't think there's any repairing that either. I think that's
no way.
done.
Like he tried to publicly shame her.
Yeah.
No way. I wouldn't be able to get past it and be his friend again. I would be cordial. I'm very good at being cordial and keeping someone at arm's length.
Yeah.
But
it's just weird because I feel like they have to run into each other because
absolutely.
Like I feel like it's, they're running the same circles. Like, how do they not run into each other?
Yeah. Wasn't he supposed to get a show back on Bravo?
I think he is getting a show.
It just hasn't come out yet.
It wasn't announced. It wasn't announced with those because he's been talking about it.
Yeah. And it wasn't, I mean, they just announced 4 new shows, right? Rhode Island, The Wife Swap, Valley Shaws, and what was the 4th one? Ladies of London.
Oh, yeah, Ladies of London. I don't know. I never watched Ladies of London. I tried to watch it once. I didn't really get it. I didn't get it. I couldn't relate because I've never been to London.
Yeah.
I felt that I just couldn't relate. But then I did watch Housewives of Dubai with Caroline, and I know her husband, Sergio. He's a lot younger. And I could I don't know. I liked her on Dubai.
Yeah.
So
It
I
might
will
be
watch
something
it.
Lori would get into too, because it's in London.
Yeah, it might be. We'll have to wait and see. All right.
All
I don't
right.
have anything else. Until next
I'm good.
time, thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.